What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shamoya, it's your favorite diva, and we're back with another self-care episode. If this is your first video you're seeing, you might want to check out my self-care playlist. We're gonna be talking things all self-care. Even though I want to do all the fancy little routines and those will come up, I wanted this series to start with breaking down self-care, how to start your self-care journey, just all the things that nobody really talks about instead of all the fancy stuff. So this is episode 3 of my self-care series, and today I'm going to be sharing 10 things that I feel like you need to know about starting your self-care journey. These are going to be lessons that I've learned, and I feel like these are going to come up whenever you start your self-care journey, and you're gonna have to come to terms with a lot of these things that I'll be talking about. So yeah, I'm just gonna be putting a little bit of makeup on my face while I talk because I don't want all my episodes to just be me sitting down talking. So since I had to get ready to shoot some other content, I figured why not make it into a chit chat. Like, we're doing my makeup, I'm doing my makeup, and we're gonna talk. I'm trying to find my primer, which is like the first step. We're already struggling. All right, so if this topic interests you, then keep on watching because it's gonna get deep, okay? So I'm gonna prime the face, my favorite primer, the Milk Hydro Grip. I did my skincare way this morning, so my skin is acting up, but not gonna let it stop us. You can stop me. Okay, so this is for all my people who haven't really started their routine. They're still struggling to start their routine. This is gonna be for you. If you already have a grip on all these things, then hey, shout out to you. All right, so I made my notes because I wanted to make sure I hit all my pointers today. So I made sure to write it all down so we don't forget anything. So the first thing, and these are not, they're kind of in order, but not really in order. So if you feel like one goes above the other, that is fine. I just kind of wrote them down based on how they came to me when I was making my notes earlier. So number 1, you will have to put yourself first. And I feel like that is obviously self-explanatory because self-care journey, self-care, taking care of myself. That is like the first thing you have to learn. So like I talked about in the last episode, the first thing I had to learn was setting boundaries. So this falls under putting yourself first. You gotta set those boundaries in whatever area of your life. Make sure you check that episode out if you didn't already. So setting boundaries is you putting yourself first. Saying no is you putting yourself first. And when I say saying no, I don't mean that you should be that person who just say no to everybody for no reason. Like, I hate a person who you can never ask them for anything. Like, I'm not saying you should be that person at all, because there's people out there who will do nothing for anybody. Everything will be an automatic no. And maybe to them, that's them taking care of, themselves, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying be that family member who does nothing for anybody else. You don't want to be self-centered. That's not what this is. So I'm just going to put on the e.l.f. Halo because I haven't used it in a minute, just for a little glow. And so I would use less foundation as well. So yeah, not telling you to be that person at all, but it just means that if something doesn't serve you, or if maybe you have something else to do, then of course you have to learn to say no. You cannot just be a yes person for everything. For example, if you're a person who likes to be home, you like to go to bed by 9, and your friend is having maybe a birthday party or something, and you don't really want to be out, but obviously it's your friend, so you sacrifice, you go to dinner, and then after dinner, maybe they want to go to the strip club. That's not your thing. You hate going to the strip club. It doesn't interest you. It's not something you want to do. You don't, it doesn't line up with your beliefs and your values or whatever the case may be. So instead of just going with the flow and doing something that you don't want to do, you can go to dinner and tell your friend, like, I'm so sorry, I'm not wanting to go to the after party. I'm just gonna come and support you. I'll be there for your dinner. If you want to do something else during the week, I'm here for you. We can grab lunch. You know, that's just not something you're into. So you have to speak up and say the things that, you know, you want to say without feeling like I have to just roll with it because that's my friend. Like, no, you can say no to certain things without compromising your values and your belief or the journey you're on. For example, if they're wanting to go somewhere where they're gonna drink and get drunk, but maybe you've struggled with alcohol and you're on this journey to do better, but they want to go out and drink, or you're gonna just compromise your sobriety because you don't want to say no, or you're gonna be honest and be like, okay, I'll come to dinner, but yeah, it's a no for me. Like, I'm not going somewhere where I'm gonna be surrounded by that temptation. That's you putting yourself first and your health first, your self-care first, and all that. Like, how many times have we like watched the news and saw where maybe someone drowned who didn't know how to swim because they were pressured to jump into the ocean or jump or jump into a lake or something like that, even though they knew, or they maybe have said no, but they got pressured and felt like they just had to do it. So you being strong in what you believe in is saying, look, no, I'm not jumping in. I don't know how to swim. So if you're gonna sit here and pressure me to do that, that means you're not being a good friend. You're not being a good brother right now. So I'm just gonna excuse myself and walk away. See you later. And if they can't understand that, well, you need to rethink those friendships and those relationships, because no, you know, I see those things all the time and I'm like, that is just not right. Like, and I know peer pressure is real. Like, we've all been pressured to sometimes do things that we really didn't want to do. But yeah, you have to be strong in what you believe in and stick with what you want to do and say no, because you don't want to live your entire life just going by what everybody else wants and everybody else wants you to do. So that leads me into number two. Number two, you're going to have to cut some people off. And that sometimes, unfortunately, includes family, friends, boyfriends, exes, girlfriends, all the above. Sometimes you just have to cut people off. And again, I'm not saying just cut people off for no reason based on small little petty things, but cutting people off that are detrimental to you and your well-being, and just people who genuinely don't support you, people who are draining to your mental health, and you keep giving them chances after chances. Like, you're gonna have to cut some people off, because again, I went through that period where I was miserable with some people in my life, and I just had to come to that decision that, you know what, it's okay to block some people. Some of them are gonna be family. Like, and I go through times where I'm in my Facebook and I'm like, maybe I should just unblock everybody. Like, but then I remember why why I blocked that person, why that person was toxic to me, and why I just can't go back there. And you're gonna have to do that and be okay with it. And when it comes to family and cutting people off, you can simply just be cordial when you see them. Like, it's not gonna prevent me from speaking to you at the family event or speaking to you at, you know, gatherings and stuff like that. But I don't need to like deal with you on a daily basis. You know, I don't need to put myself through that, because instead of it being all good, instead it's just miserable. And when that person goes home, when that person make you upset and go about their life, then you're the one left dealing with the emotions and the feelings of what they did. So you know what? I'm just gonna remove you. And I was telling my mom this a while back. I was like, there's some people that I knew that I blocked, like, what am I now, 32? That I blocked over 10 years ago. And I'm so glad I did that back then, because seeing all the issues that person is causing now, you know, in other people's lives, I'm just like, I'm so glad I removed myself. So glad I did that back then, because yeah, my self-care and my journey is come too far for me to be dealing with your, you know, your issues. So again, if I see that person, I still will say hi, but there's no going back to, oh, I should unblock you, or I should give you my number because we knew each other as a kid. Like, no, that's not happening. So that's what I mean by that. You're gonna have to cut some people off who just ain't making it better for you. And it will be hard sometimes, especially if it's like a close relative and stuff like that. That can be hard, but you have to do what's best for you, and that take you back to number one, putting yourself first. Just cut them off. Cut. So number 3 is you're gonna have to be okay knowing that a lot of people are not gonna accept the changes you're making or understand the journey you're on. A lot of people are not gonna get it, and that's okay. Because again, you're putting yourself first, you're doing it for you. So it shouldn't matter what anybody else have to say. So yeah, you wake up tomorrow and you're like, oh, I'm on a self-care journey. A lot of people, if they're not on that wavelength, they're gonna be like, what? And when you start saying no to them, they're not gonna understand why. And instead of them trying to understand and asking questions, instead they just like cut you off and stuff like that, you know? And you don't owe anybody any explanation to begin with. Like, why should I have to explain why I'm doing this? No, I'm doing this for me, and that's all you should know. And it's either you're gonna respect that or you're going to remove yourself from my life. And if somebody genuinely wants you to explain why you're doing it, it's okay to explain it. I just feel like if they're gonna come at you sideways asking why you're doing it, then I don't owe you any explanation. But if somebody is curious enough to be like, hey, Shamoya, I see a little change in you, and I see you've been focused a little bit more on XYZ. Can you break it down for me? Like, how did you get to that point? And it's okay to be like, okay, here's how I got started, which is what I've been doing with, hence why I wanted to do this on YouTube, was because I find myself explaining to people a little bit like why they should. But yeah, if you're gonna come at me sideways, then it's a no for me. It's a no for me. Number 4, not everybody's gonna like you. Not everybody is going to like you. And you're gonna realize quickly that a lot of people in your life are just in your life for the moment. A lot of people are in your life for a good time. Maybe because of what you bring to the table. Maybe you're fun to hang out with. Maybe the things you were doing at the time they could relate with, and they weren't really your friend. And you have to come to the realization that not everybody's gonna like you, and not everybody is your friend. And that's gonna be part of your self-care journey. Once you know, keep moving forward, you're gonna realize that, oh, that person didn't like. Looking back at my life, I've always been likable. Like, I don't want to say popular, because I wasn't like popular in a bad way, but I feel like I was just likable. I was likable in school, high school, different sports that I did, life, my early years in Florida, working at McDonald's, little things like that. I was always likable. Even now at work, I consider myself to be likable. As far as I know, nobody really has an issue with me, but I learned to not open up to everybody. I learned to not think everybody is my friend, especially when, like, after the early years, like I said, in Florida, working at McDonald's, I used to hang out with a lot of people. And over the years, you just kind of outgrow those people because you're in a different, like, phase of your life. When I look back, like, I can count on one hand the genuine, maybe not one hand, but I can count on both hands how many people have really been a friend. And they have that saying where, who are the people, I can't even say it right now, but who are the people that are there for you when you're down? And that is a saying that is so true. Like, who are the people that are there when you're going through something? The people you can call, the people who check up on you when you're going through things, when you have no money, when you lose your job. Who are those people when you say no that are still around? You know, when things didn't work out a certain way, they're still around. Like, who are those people? You know, because just like Facebook, some people are just acquaintances, you know, they're just there, and birthdays come and go. You'll say happy birthday. You knew them, you know, if anything happens, you know, you really don't want bad things to happen, but they're just acquaintances, and you have to be okay with that. Like, don't try to force anything that's not there. Focus on the people that mean something to you and who have been there, and nurture those relationships, because those are the people you need. How we doing so far, guys? All right, we're on number 5. So number 5. 5 is learning to love people from a distance. And that ties into cutting people off. And some people you may not have cut off per se, but you learn to love them from a distance. Like, I don't need to be up in your space, in your circle. I'm still your favorite cousin. I'm still your auntie. I'm still someone you know and you can count on. But I'm gonna love you from a distance, because the things that you do are toxic to me and my well-being. So I'm over here. You stay over there, do what you like to do, the things that make you happy. And I'm gonna be over here practicing self-care. Self-care, meditating, working out, doing whatever it is I wanna do. You stay over there and do your thing, you know. And at the end of the day, if that person needs me, I'll be there. I'll be there in the blink of an eye. But not to be there to pick up, like, I don't have to be there for every little thing. That's just not what that means for me. So yeah, love people from a distance, and that okay, because a lot of times we find ourselves trying to make things work over and over again. Like, I was literally just watching Love is Blind, the show on Netflix. They had like a follow-up episode, and I was watching it, and one of the girls, whether it's fake or not, because you know these TV shows you can't really, but whether it was fake or not, but she's having a hard time letting go of her ex because of all the things they've been through together. And it's like she said, she's doing way more for him than he's doing for her. Like, all the things she does for him, her being a friend to him, doesn't balance out. Like, she's doing 80%, 90%, he's doing 10%. Like, what's the point of trying to make that work over and over again? You just have to love people from a distance. I still care about you. If you need me, I'm here, but I can't keep doing this. I can't keep trying to make it work. And those go for regular friendships as well. People you might have disagreements with all the time. Like, you just can't keep trying to make it work over and over again. So yeah, thought that was a nice example to share, because that is sometimes one of the hard things with like self-care. Is like, no, I can't not be there for this person. Like, that's my sister, I have to do all this stuff. That's my brother, I have to be there. No, sometimes especially when the person doesn't want your help and stuff like that, or again, just detrimental to your well-being. Sometimes, which is a good example of like my situation, was moving across the country. That was something I had to do as well as part of my well-being. I felt like I had to remove myself from everything that was going on, and I was open to starting over, you know. And a lot of times I get friends or somebody might ask me, somebody who I meet and say, oh, I moved from Florida, and they're like, how did you move away? And I'm like, because when you realize, and it was a combination of like work, we wanted a better life in terms of work, but it also had some things to do with my self-care and feeling like, you know what, we needed to get away. And I feel like it made a lot of relationships better by moving away. And yeah, if I didn't take that step, I don't know. Love from a distance. All right, we're almost done, guys. We've been chatting a long time. Number 6, you will lose some friends along the way. And this is a big part of your self-care journey. You're going to lose friends. I was literally like, after I scripted this video and wrote my 10 things down, I was on TikTok, and one of my favorite influencers, Arnell, she had posted a video and she was like, I feel like I'm losing friends, because she's in a different phase in her life. She's pregnant, she's in a healthy relationship, and she was like, does this happen to you guys? Like, when you're in different phases of your life, do you lose friends? And I was like, yes. Yes, you do. I felt like she was saying, some of these friends, they were in toxic situations too while she was in her previous relationship. And so now that she's in a healthy relationship, they have no way to relate to each other, so they back off. Or she used to go out and drink all the time. She can't drink right now. They back off. So all those things just kind of add up to losing friends, because you can't do the things that they want to do, or because now you have boundaries. Now you have something else that matters to you more than doing some of those things. So you have to be okay with losing some friends. I can't state how many I've lost over the years that I thought were my friends, but I remember like on the last relationship that kind of fell apart for me, I spent so much time thinking about it and being like, why is this happening? Like, what did I do wrong to cause this person to like not come around? And I had to come to accept it and walk away from that relationship, because I don't know if I ever did anything, but it's like, if you're not friend enough to come to me and say, oh, you made me upset when you said this, and here, you know, I just want to let you know, and then I can apologize for whatever it is I did. But they didn't do that. Instead, they just not come around and kept beating around the bush for a long time. So it was like, no, you know, like, if you're not able to come to me and tell me what I did wrong, then we don't need to be friends. We do not need to be friends. So yeah, you're gonna lose some friends along the way, because they don't understand. Just like my point earlier, there's gonna be people who don't understand the stage you're in, or maybe they just don't agree with the stage you're in. And like I said, if they care about you, they would want to understand why or how they can help with the stage you're in without how am I trying to say this? Like, your decisions, they would be okay with the decisions you make, because they know you're doing it from a place of self-care, and not be mad because you chose to do something for yourself. You know what I mean? So if you lose those people, it's because they were never your true friend. And the true friend is going to be around through all of it, even if they don't understand why you're doing certain things. And that translates into my fertility journey as well. Like, not everybody understood what I was doing, but if you care, you're gonna be there. Like, it doesn't take a lot to be there, instead of you pretending to be there when you really didn't care. You know, don't be a fake friend, just be an understanding friend. And if you need explanation or clarification on certain things, then that's okay. Like I said, if they genuinely want to know or understand what you're going through, then they will, even if they're not at that stage in their life. Even if they're not practicing self-care right now, they'll still be there on your journey and be supportive and cheer you on, you know? So yeah, you're gonna lose some people, and it's okay, girl. You'll get through it. Okay, that leads me into my next point. Be okay with spending time by yourself. You're gonna learn quickly, like your happiness does not depend on people doing things with you. Like, because you're on a journey does not mean you need someone with you to go to the mall. You need someone with you to go to the movies, to go to dinner. Like, be okay with going on a walk by yourself. Be okay with just sitting in silence by yourself. I had to learn how to do that, and it's one of the best decisions, or one of the best lessons I had to learn, was to be able to spend time with myself. Go on that dinner, go on that solo date by yourself. Even when you're married, even when you have kids, still spend time with yourself. I'm not gonna do much to the eyes. This little palette and just dust a little something on the eyes. Next is, once you start your self-care journey, you're gonna have to be okay with starting over. Like, you're gonna fail, you're gonna fall. Ooh, that is not what I expected. You're gonna fail, you're gonna fall, but be okay with starting over. I can't mention how many times I've had to start over fitness journey. Right now, my routines this month, I'm starting over my morning routine, my nighttime routine, because of kind of falling off track of what I want to wake up, setting goals for like not being on social media right away first thing in the morning, just little stuff like that. My nighttime routine, I'm now setting like the mood for myself of what I want my nighttime routine to be, because I keep rushing and just, you know, going through the motions. So I'm like, no, let's start over. Same thing with like the video I just posted with my meal plan and trying to get back with my food, my workouts. Set goals of 3 to 4 times a week, or 5 if I can. So be okay with starting over. It's a journey for a reason. It's not oh, I'm gonna practice self-care one day and that's it. It's a journey just like everything else. So be okay with starting over. Next, I would say, don't compare yourself to others. Stop comparing yourself to others, whether it's physically, where they are in their self-care journey versus where you are. One, you never know what that person is really going through, and you're unique to you. So don't feel like because they're there in there, and I had to do that in so many different areas. My natural hair journey, I had to learn to not compare myself. Let's spray the face real quick. Yeah, I've had to learn not to compare my fitness journey, my natural hair journey, the way my body looks, just everything. Don't compare yourself to others. I think we're down to the last one, so let me do my lip real quick. All right, guys, so to close this list of things you should know, we have number 10, and number 10 is to start loving yourself. That's what starts your self-care journey. You cannot keep worrying about what everybody else thinks about you. You have to start loving yourself. You have to start healing from whatever you've been through. That is something I'm still working on. But you have to let go of a lot of things through, and a lot of that stuff takes time. Like, it's not gonna happen overnight, but you have to start healing from different things that you've been through. You have to forgive a lot of stuff that maybe you've gone through, a lot of people that have done things to you, done you wrong. You have to forgive and move on. That is something, ooh, when I look back, even before I knew what self-care was, I decided that I wanted to forgive and move on, because when you don't forgive, you hold on to a lot of those feelings. And that was something I realized early after setting those boundaries, after going through different things with different people. I just realized, like, I needed to forgive. It's funny how they say forgive but you're not gonna forget, which is true. But it's crazy how when you move on from a situation, you almost forget about it. Like, I had a situation recently where I heard my husband saying something that I've been through. Like, he was saying, like, when Sham went through that or something, and I was like, what were you talking about? Like, what thing were you talking about? And when he reminded me, I was like, wow, I didn't even remember that happened. And I kind of laughed a little bit, because I was like, wow, like, I really forgave and moved on from that situation that I almost didn't remember it happened. It's almost like it just got I just moved on. It was left behind. So when you reminded me, I was like, I just had to smile at like my growth in that area and just happy that I did that when I did it. And don't worry, in that moment you might feel like people are going to be upset that you're moving on or whatever the case might be, but you're doing it for you, and it all comes back to that. So healing from all those trauma, forgiving, and being nicer to yourself, being gentle to yourself, like all those things. Like, yeah, you're not gonna be happy with everything. Like sometimes I'm not happy with my weight, sometimes I'm not happy with my skin and my breakouts and all that stuff, but be more gentle about it. Be more forgiving to yourself about whatever it is, and knowing when something is maybe out of your control, or maybe you can do something about it. So yeah, those round up my top things that I feel like you should know when starting your self-care journey. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know if any of these relate to you, or you can relate to any of these 10 things. So let me know down below which one has been the hardest for you. Again, these things take time, but these are things you need to know or to expect as you go on your self-care journey. So that is it for that. So that is it for this video, guys. I really do hope that you enjoyed this video. I know this was not a bite size like I wanted it to be, but hey, we gotta talk about some things. So but yeah, we have to get this out of the way. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Also, let me know what you think about the face minus the breakouts and the hair. Don't worry, I filmed this hair as well, so you will see this on Wednesday. So make sure you're subscribed, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.